You're dating someone else already? We just broke up. On this segment of It's Scary to Remarry. What's up, Brave Arts community? This is Shon Hyneman here with another segment of It's Scary to Remarry, wanting you to love fearlessly. And as I talked about in the title, and how you can recover from your ex moving on at such a fast pace after y'all broke up. This is more common than we think in relationships, so I want to address this. Now, just for a transparent moment, there was a time when I was going through my divorce that people looked at me and thought that I was rushing as I got remarried. But what happened was I was spending a lot of time during my separation working on me and becoming the best version of me as possible. So in the social media world, it looked as if I just moved on super fast. But at the same time, I was working on myself. I was being low key, working every day, working overtime, working on my podcast. Y'all know the podcast I had before this one. And I spent a lot of time meditating, crying, just self-reflection and wondering what I can do to get better. So by the time I moved on during our separation process, I felt like I was doing pretty good in the recovery because I had time to work on me and confront my own personal issues and the things that I've dealt with. So let's talk about this. So if your ex, if they moved on super fast, and you're wondering how they just move on without you, whether they're just dating or they actually jumped into another relationship right after you, here are some things, kind of like some do's and don'ts if you're going through this process. So make sure you share this video or this podcast with a friend who might need this. No judgment here. Allow yourself to feel whatever you are feeling. And does it still hurt? Acknowledge that. And lying to yourself, saying that you're over it already, can damage you later because you didn't allow yourself to feel the hurt at the time. So you're going through this process, you're upset, you're mad at your ex. It's okay to acknowledge that, because too many times we think we have to put up this shield or this wall, like, oh, I don't care, forget him, forget her, and all this other stuff. But you're actually hurting. And the longer you the longer you go on this self-denial, it's going to only hurt you long term, because you're not allowing yourself to deal with the hurt and what actually happened. The only way you can heal is to go through the feelings, go through what you're feeling and acknowledge that. And there's nothing wrong with it. Now, the problem is when you're blowing up his or her phone, like if that's your ex and you trying to keep explaining yourself and you trying to get them back, that's when you go wrong. You don't have to acknowledge your feelings to them, because I'm sure you already had this conversation time and time again and it didn't work. But you can talk to somebody, a trusted friend or a counselor or a therapist, somebody that can help you with your feelings and going through this. And remember, here's another one. Trying to get even won't help you, okay? Don't try to get even with your ex. Once you found out that they moved on quickly, the worst thing you can do is go on rebound dates, right? Don't bring anyone into your hurt and damaged life right now, because you're selling false hope to someone else. Now, when you're going on a rebound date or a rebound date, you're still thinking about your ex, but you're just using this person as more of a silhouette, just more of someone to help you pass the time. But you're actually hurting this other person too, because they don't know what you have going on. You're just using this person. So don't get someone else caught up in your hurt right now. Just take that necessary time to work on you, because that is selfish. And I know a lot of times we just like to do what we want to do in order for us to feel better. But let's start being a little more, hurt people. So you don't want to be one of those hurt people who hurt someone else. Someone gave me a piece of advice when I was going through my divorce, and I'm throwing up my air quotes. They said, go have a whole phase, right? You was with somebody for 14 years. Go and explore, go and be with as many women as possible. And I'm thinking to myself, I have a daughter to raise. I can't be out here just sleeping around with women, you know, like how am I going to really find myself having the whole phase, right? And I'm saying all this is because some people find that after leaving the relationship, when they find out that their ex is gone, they want to go have a whole phase and, you know, just go and sleep with whoever you want to. Whatever you choose to do, that's what you choose to do. But remember, that's like putting a Band-Aid over a bullet wound, because sleeping around with other people when you're hurt, you're just transferring that negative energy to that person that you're sleeping with, right? And they have no idea. But at the same time, you're just spreading that negative energy because you're still hurt from dealing with the ex. Now, granted, the sex might be good for a little bit, you know, but remember, at the end of the day, you still going to have to deal with you and your personal hurt and your personal issues of seeing your ex actually move on. So you have to consider, is this going through this whole phase, is this really going to help me in my healing process? The reason I didn't do it was because I felt like it wasn't going to help me at all. By me sleeping around with multiple women wouldn't have helped me during my separation time. Yeah, I've been with one woman for 14 years, but that doesn't mean that I should go sleep around to try to find myself. And to each his own, no judgment here. I know we live in, you know, a different time, but that's just me. Also, you are living in a state of reaction. Remember, your ex, they moved on. They aren't thinking about you. They're dating other people. They are living their best life. They moved on. They're done with you. So anything that you do, you don't want to live out of reaction. You know, when I talk about the whole phase or even stalking their social media profile, these things aren't going to help you get any better, especially if you're connected. You and your ex are connected to other friends who might see your ex profile, and they're sharing these pictures with you, and girl, look at who he dating now, or look at this chick, or look at this chick who he, you know, with now, and all this other stuff. Like, you don't really need that stuff in your spirit, because if you're trying to get over an ex, that's the last thing you need, is to be stalking their social media profile and having your friends spy on them, if you will. Remember, if you don't pursue self-control, everything you're doing is eventually going to hurt yourself. The more self-harm you do, the more you move away from true healing. So eventually, over time, if you don't work on yourself, and time goes by and you get into another relationship eventually, right? What happens is all of that time that you had to try to heal from an ex, you just bring all of that pain and heartbreak into a new relationship. Remember, time doesn't heal all wounds. It's what you do at that time that heal all wounds. So while you have this time to be away from your ex, the relationship is over, you're heartbroken. That's why it's important for you to heal, because by the time you get into another relationship, if you haven't dealt with that baggage, then it's all going to show in this new relationship. And potentially you might end up losing out on the person that you have now because you're dealing with unaddressed issues. So that's why it's important to take the time to heal. I know it hurt. I know the ex moved on and they're doing them, and you're wondering, how is it that you can move on that fast and I can't? And sometimes in life that happens. So I hope this video was a help to you. And also, this is in audio form as well, so you'll be able to hear this if you're not able to watch the video. Also, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, and you can share this on in the podcast. You can share this on Spotify, it's on Apple Podcasts, and also feel free to leave a review and rating on iTunes. I would definitely appreciate that. Let me know what you think of the podcast, if it's really helping you, and leave an honest review. That will put you in the running for a raffle that we're giving away, a free gift card, to see how many reviews we get on iTunes. Your name can be picked. This is Shon Hyneman at It's Scary to Remarry. I'll talk to you soon, people. Take care.